Yo, Eric, we're over here on the paranormal hunt, and I headed over to this other building, and it's number 13. What is this going on? My God.
Well, everybody, look at this wonderful, handsome crew you got here. Look at that. You got the handsome Ron beneath us. You got Anthony on the right side. I mean, you can't get more handsome than this crew right here.
I want a cowboy hat next Christmas. Me and Eric. Me and Ron next Christmas.
This is such a handsome crew. Now, everybody in the chat, this is going to be a very interactive type of show because you probably already read the title. Should Discovery Channel put disclaimers on their content about being fake? Now, you got to remember, people, Discovery Channel owns a lot of channels, not just Discovery. They own TLC. They own a lot. So I'm talking about the whole Discovery network. I'm not talking about the shows about they do on Earth, the animals and all that. You know, that's stuff. I'm talking about when they do the paranormal shows, when they do the Bigfoot shows, when they do the UFO shows. And where this all came from was I received this email from somebody, and he asked me not to mention their name. It was an awesome email. I really loved it, and it's kind of inspired me to do this kind of a show. So I'm going to read half of the email because there's going to be questions that I'm going to be asking the panel, and then there's the bottom half, and it all leads into the title. So, dear Eric, you know, ever since you actually had Anthony and Ron be coming on, the combination of your guys' opinions are freaking awesome. When I hear Ron talk, I can see the science side of the conversation where you could tell that Ron does his research with space, NASA. He knows his science probably more than both of you guys. No offense. No offense taken on that. But you can tell that he knows his math. He just knows dimensions, and it brings a certain element to a show of being more realistic. And then you go towards Anthony, where you can tell Anthony studies a lot of videos, listen to a lot of people. So his opinion is based on everything that he's been listening, hearing, magazines, videos, whatever. Then Eric, you bring where you feel more of the common sense side of things. You bring in what you think common sense is to an answer. And with all three of your different elements, it makes the conversation even better and funner. Now, you guys mentioned one day on a show, you guys talk about UFOs, and Eric, you mentioned that out of all the shows you watched on TV and documentaries, you feel that the UFO side versus Bigfoot and paranormal are way more fake and false than the other two genres. Can you please explain why you think the UFO side of videos on TV that are more fake? And then there's more. I'm going to keep the second part down because the second part goes into another conversations within the same conversations. And I want to answer that question of that. And then I want to have Ron and Anthony give their opinion of, if you take the three genres, I'm talking about Bigfoot, cryptids, Bigfoot, whatever, the paranormal, anything that goes with paranormal, the mediums, ghost huntings, whatever, and the UFOs. Now, I watch stuff for entertainment purposes. That's how I watch entertainment on TV. I look at it as entertainment. I don't look at it as facts or truth. Just like when I watch the news, I pick and choose listen, when they talk about the weather, okay, there could be some truth to the weather. I'm not talking about like weather, all that kind of stuff, traffic on the road. If they say traffic's busy, it's probably busy. I'm talking about a lot of the interviews they do, people coming on, talking about different things. I'm talking about that kind of stuff. Now, the reason I say that I watch UFOs less of documentaries, I believe we've been visited. I believe in UFOs. I believe in spaceships from outer space, without a doubt. But the problem I have, and I'm going to be so curious to hear Anthony's and Ron, is when I watch paranormal shows, in common sense reality, if I want to know if they're faking it or they're really, it's garbage, whatever. At least on a paranormal side, if I wanted to, I could get in a car. Doesn't matter how long it takes me to get there. I could drive to Bobby Mackey's, right? I could drive in front of the Amityville Horror House. A lot of these places that are investigated, you can go in for some money. So technically, some of these you can technically do your own kind of investigations and come up with kind of an answer that maybe I'm looking for. Okay, that's for the paranormal side. Look at the Bigfoot side. Whatever video I watch on Bigfoot, I could go to those mountains. I could walk in those woods. I could look at what they're seeing. And if somebody says this is the hot spot of Bigfoot, well, technically, if I camp there for 6 months or so, I could probably, for myself, determine if this is really, truly a hot spot. Now, this is a problem I have with UFOs. Somebody comes out with a video, a whole documentary of something in the sky. I can't get there. I can't go exactly where that spot is. It's unlikely that same spot is going to keep reappearing every day, where a haunting can be original. It could happen every day or so. A thing in the sky, and then when I watch these documentaries, it's always the same people with the suits. They're like not all, but they're like big degrees. They're science majors. We're in governments. Almost like every single one of these people are supposedly somewhere, and I'm watching, and I'm like, bullshit. I don't believe anything. Now there's hocus pocus and everything, right? Somebody being a medium, some people are, some people aren't. But some of these people, like Anthony played a video of this guy talking about like visions of every day, crying, like that's going too far. There's a difference between when Anthony was telling his stories about his abduction. He's telling you that he has dreams of his abduction. Anthony's not going out every day saying, every day I'm doing this, I'm waking up with sweats because they're coming after me. It's like, and almost all these people are the same. So a lot of times when Anthony does videos of UFO people, I don't know these people because I don't watch them, because they're all like the same people. And look at the people that get interviewed on Fox with UFOs. They're all like well-spoken. It's like they went to school for acting. They're a certain way, at least, not all. At least when I watch the paranormal channels, some people are normal. Like I know this guy ain't everybody's favorite. I like watching Jack Osborne because he doesn't claim to be a medium. I feel like he's more closer to me, even though he's rich, the son of Ozzy, and all that. But these people from the UFO videos, documentaries, they're all the same kind of people. It's like they bounce off of this, they go over here, they're going over here, and I just can't watch it. I don't know why. I just can't watch it. I'd rather watch the movie Fire in the Sky for the 100th time than watch some of these documentaries. Same topic, same people, or friends of those people. It's like they're bouncing around. That's why, and I believe in we're being visited, but that's just my opinion of the three. And I'm curious, I want to hear Anthony and Ron of their opinion of kind of like the stuff if they're going to watch something on television, what did they go towards to and why? So Ron, let's just start with you. I know it's a lot I just said there.
Can you go with Anthony for a minute? Start with Anthony. I'd rather Anthony, if you don't mind. Yeah, because I want to hear what he has to say.
I mean, if you're looking at UFO ghost cryptid channels these days, you got to expect to see a little bit of embellishment on all these channels, because if they don't get the ratings that they need, the channel is going to be worthless. So these days, you can almost expect it to be a high class of BS. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of channels go out there and they start off trying to do the right thing, but then the ratings just aren't there and they take a risk of losing the show. So they start embellishing things. For example, Ghost Adventures got made popular, like I said last time, when they caught the full-bodied apparition, right? But it's not every day you catch a full-bodied apparition. So in order for that show to continue with the ratings that it was getting off that one sighting that they had to go to places and deal with people that were going to allow them to embellish different things. Like when you watch their channel in the Broomstick Falls, and they're 10 feet away from it, and they're like, oh my God, the ghost just knocked the broomstick. I'm going to keep this broomstick. It was just touched by a ghost. And, they dramatize the story like that. it not only does it make it, people not want to look at it really, because now you're saying these people are faking this is BS, right? And then when you go to the UFO community, it seems to me like they'll just pull anybody that will say that it's real, or anybody that'll say, oh, that object in the sky was 100% a UFO. Even the guy Travis from Skinwalker Ranch, that scientist guy, he started off as a hardcore skeptic, right? He went into Skinwalker Ranch. He wanted to see all the data for everything. Now he's like the total opposite.
But Anthony, do you think it's because it's like I said, you could to disprove paranormal, we could actually go to the place if we wanted to.
Sure.
But is it because it's harder to disprove a UFO sighting because we can't go up there?
Put your hands on it, so you can't prove it.
And the only way you try to prove something is watching somebody evaluating a video, right? Because you can't go up there, right? I mean,
evaluating videos is one way to do it. Or like Ron and I, we travel to certain places to go see what we could do. A lot of teams do travel. Long Island Bigfoot goes out. You go out, we go out. So I mean, back in the day, though, like when you had guys like Stanton Freeman, for example, when something happened, they literally got on a plane, went to that location, checked the grounds, talked to the people in the surrounding area, asked everybody if they had video footage, talked to the cops and fire departments and see if any radio calls came in. They went to the news stations to see any footage that came in. You know what I mean? They really went that extra step above to do their due diligence. Today, you really don't get that.
And I feel the difference is with that kind of stuff is, like I said, with paranormal, there's equipment that we could get. We could buy off Amazon. But some of the stuff for UFO to really try to prove it, we can't afford to get the soil checked. There's no real. Maybe Ron knows. Ron's a technical guy. Can we buy a big radioactive to see?
How Geiger counter and all that.
Geiger counter, that's it.
A Geiger counter does that, but it's like for so old. But just on this thing with the channels, the bottom line that I believe is entertainment.
Exactly.
That's all it is. Because I've been involved with a few reality shows, maybe not on cryptids. You remember Mob Wives?
Yeah.
That one. And then my friends did one called the Pool Hall. It was Pool Hall Hustlers or something. But these are reality shows, and there's nothing real about them. Everything was staged. The entrance was done 50 times to walk in. So just on these shows, it's entertainment. I mean, now that's not saying that what they talk about, there aren't real things out there. But with them, like here, for instance, David Childress, right? So this like nose spray, this is probably an ancient artifact from an alien ship. If I throw it fast enough, everything's artifact. You know what I mean? And it's entertainment, and that's for the masses. That's why most of us, what do you see in the chat? If you talk about ancient aliens, everybody goes, blah. We don't watch that crap. But the public does. That's why. It's just entertainment. That's it.
Exactly.
Those channels are, that's all it is, dude.
See,
you brought up a valid point, Ron. You remember Giorgio Tsoukalos?
Yeah.
When they had the little models of the little ancient carving things that looked like they flew?
Yeah.
And then they went and they made them radio controlled, and they made a big thing about it because it withstood flight. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that it was an ancient artifact that actually flew and that they actually used to fly around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could have been somebody's depiction of a bird, somebody's art depiction of a bird or a bug of some kind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I love it when they say, when they go back and they say, could this have been aliens? Ancient astronauts say, yes. Who the hell is the ancient astronaut? Like
who's the ancient astronaut?
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they say yes. David Childress says yes to everything.
And that's getting back to the point I was making. They hire all yes men for ratings.
And like that show, remember it was Finding Bigfoot, right?
Oh, yeah.
Finding Bigfoot, it's the show that it just goes on and on. You never see a Bigfoot. They're never finding him, right? But they always hear him. There's some knocks. Well, did you hear the tree knocking? Let's knock back. And everybody's like this, and then it goes to next week, and they start off in another part. They just leave that and go to another part of the country. Oh, we're looking for this and that. Get the out of here.
I don't know about you, Ron, but I know I sat there and I waited for next week many times.
Oh, I did too. I watched it, and then after, like, I think it was after one season, I just said that's it. I didn't watch them no more. I was like, they're never gonna show anything, because I feel like if they ever did, we would know. It would make news or something like that
Ahead of time.
It just goes on. Imagine that they're real close. They just heard this, and they got some evidence, and then they go from Portland. Now they're over here in Seattle next week.
There's a script, Ron, right there. There's a script right here. He wrote the script. Finding foot. What is that?
What is that?
What is that?
Yeah,
Did you see that? What is that? He wrote the whole script.
That was the show. What was the other one where they try to cage the animals? If it was a dog man they were hunting or a werewolf, they would build a big cage for it and go out in the woods. Those 4 old guys. Remember that show?
I don't remember that
Monster
one.
Something. I can't remember.
Monster
Hold on. You said building
Monster Quest. They would build a big cage to try.
You're talking about mountain monsters.
Mountain monsters. That's it.
Now I was going to bring that up later on the show. That show proves that they exaggerate everything, and I want to get into that in the second part, because the exaggeration part comes into the second part of the email and all that. But I will say one thing that a show can help with, like Ancient Aliens and all that. You can listen to it, watch it. It can pinpoint a story for you, like you're saying, Ron. Hey, I want to investigate that story. I want to know if there's some truth to it, and it can help you start to listen to other channels about it, trying to get your own opinion, or maybe on the Bigfoot sounding. At least maybe if you live near there, it could give you a pinpoint, like, I'm going to investigate anyway. Well, I'll try there. Let me see. So I can say you could get some things, but if you're going to try to believe everything that you hear, that's another story. Now, here's the second part of the email. The other day, I was watching you guys was watching the channel, and Eric, you brought up something that was actually pretty interesting and made me think. And when I start watching these channels on what you said, it made me think more. You said that there's a difference between lying. There's people who come out and then just fake a story, fake a video. And guys, the reason I'm looking this way is because I'm reading it from here, just so you know. They're just straight out lying a story to you. But you mentioned exaggeration. Can exaggeration be another form of lying? And you believe it is. Can you explain more of what you're talking about? Exaggeration, and what do you kind of mean? How does that go into lying? Okay, now it makes me happy when somebody actually listens, and then they watch channel and they're watching these exaggerations. Okay, now I hate keep picking on Ghost Adventures, but I'm gonna pick on, because you watch that team, Zach and his team, after 15, 17 years. They get scratched, they scream, they all jump, they all run. Because what you learn in the movie business, music business and all that, once you plant something in somebody's head, they're more likely to believe you. So for you to believe into a place being haunted, they want to add some fear into you. So once they put that fear in you, you're more likely to believe that they really saw something. And I'm not saying they didn't see nothing for real, because I'm not there. I'm not that. Now, I'm gonna. This might be weird.
But what about when it comes to Zach? All of a sudden, he started getting possessed all the time, like when he was on the show.
Yes.
That's another nonsense.
If you look at Zach, if you notice, watch whenever, anytime Aaron or something was happening, you're guaranteed to see the camera go over to Zach. That all of a sudden he needs the attention on him.
Yeah,
he has to be the star of the show, and all of a sudden, like, I'm not feeling good. Like, he can't have it on anybody else.
I know.
And that's my point. I believe that's a form of lying. You don't actually have to say a video's fake or not. I mean, you can exaggerate to make something there that it's not. I don't know if everybody ever watches sometimes trailers, right? There's this channels that do watch trailers. And if you guys ever watch these people watch trailers, they overreact, and they don't act like that when they watch a real trailer. Here, let me give an example here for fun. Just for fun. I made a trailer for the cartoon. Now, I'm going to play this And I'm going to show you what a lot of these channels do. I wish, in a way, it can make me bigger. I don't think it can. No.
Make you bigger or the video bigger?
You gotta drag it over to you, Eric. Drag it right over there. You.
Well, I'll just watch. Okay, here, I'll just go back to here, and you guys can just watch me. Like I'm going to put this on, and this is what these channels do. Oh, hold on. I got to put the volume on. Okay, hold on a second.
Try to tell people there are no borders, there are no prime ministers, there are no presidents. There's only one nation. That's Kids Nation. There's only one God.
Guys, there's kids in it.
Party every day.
X-Files in it. Brian Carr. Oh my God, Ninja Robot.
Yep.
Holy wow, look at that army. Oh, whoa. Look, come in there, guitars. Dude, this is, oh my God. Is that a freaking angel? Wow. Killer dog.
Yep.
Oh, shoot. Whoa. What the hell? Now, you watch trailers. People overreact. I'm serious. People do. They really watch like, oh my God, and they act like they're scared. Dude, that's fake. They're overreacting.
It's a fake review. That's what it's like.
Most people who watch trailers watch it like, that looks good. I'm going to watch that. Why they do the overreaction? Because people like it. Believe it or not, those overreaction, guys, I can't show any people doing that because of trademarks, copyright, and all that. But you guys get the point that, so when you're doing a TV show, like you're saying, like Zach, if you watch, watch Anthony, you guys should research it yourselves. Ghost Adventures, the first 3 seasons, the ratings were getting higher and higher. But when the ratings got really high is when they added this more of the scary music. Da-ching! Right. And they start showing some blood splats. Right before they go to a commercial, they always show like somebody getting killed in a way, splat, because they're setting that image to you that it's scary. So when they overreact, and what I mean
over embellishment part that I'm talking about.
Part exactly.
Like they don't oversell it. They feel like nobody's going to be interested, and to me it makes it look stupid.
Because if you watch, I'm not saying Ghost Hunters is more real than Ghost Adventures, but if you watch Ghost Hunters, they do less than that. But Ghost Adventures, no offense, it has higher ratings and it lasts longer because of overreacting. And what I mean by should they put disclaimers on, I'm not talking about the disclaimers of the one video saying, don't try this at home. This could be danger to you. I'm not talking about that. Yeah. If you guys go to a live concert, I believe they should put these on tickets. If you go to a live concert, I expect to see a live show. But now you're learning that 80%, 70% are using tracks. I believe on the ticket, it should tell you the percentage of how many tracks they use, because I feel I'm being ripped off when I'm paying $100 to $1,000 for a ticket and finding out that it's not live.
Lip singing you're talking about?
Lip singing, tracks. Now, there's a difference between, like, if they want to use a track for a piano player, because one song has a piano, none of the other songs don't. So they just use a track. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when they're fake singing. They're using tracks to make you sound like more like an album than it is. It's not a live show. I think if I'm paying money for a live show, I want a live show. If there's going to be some lip singing in it, the ticket should say 60% of the show is using tracks. Then it's up to you. You want to see. I feel that. I believe that. I'm watching a TV show. I think they should put a disclaimer because, listen, we're grown men. We know that it's over-exaggerated. The kids don't. They should say, hey, just letting you know, a disclaimer that these shows, they're overreacting, and we're not here to tell you that they're real or not. I really believe they should start doing that because I think it's falsifying fake evidence to you to think you that place really is haunted, and finding out it's just overreacting, like using tracks. They're putting it in there. And then what if Anthony, what if you watch a show? I'm serious. Anthony, what if you watch a show? Say, I'm going to use Bobby Mack as an example. Say Bobby Mack, he's is one big hoax, right? Say there is nothing hunted, but you watch these shows, you watch Ghost Adventure overreacting, and you're like, wow, God, that place is haunted. You go out, Anthony and I, hey, let's put our money together. Let's rent to go in there and do our own investigation. And we go in there, there's nothing. Now, we know on investigation, you're not guaranteed to catch something. But when you watch these shows, they make it like it happens every day. And I think that's falsifying us to pay to do something when there's really not there. I think that's dishonest, and I think that's just as bad as faking a damn video.
True. The guy from Bobby Mackey's, he came out a bunch of times and says he don't think his place is haunted.
I played it on this
He
channel.
played the video, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Listen, what I tell you guys over the weekend, I went to the Rogers Candy because
right.
there's articles of being haunted. I asked that lady worker who's been there 15, 20 years. I go, is this place really haunted by the guy? Those are cute stories.
And do you remember the video a couple months ago when Post Malone he was on stage singing and he fell through the middle of the stage? And when he fell and he was screaming on stage, but the music was still playing with his voice. I mean, those people paid mega bucks to go see that concert. And he fell down and he's screaming because he broke his leg or whatever. And, you know, he's still singing. And people couldn't believe that he was voicing over it.
Well, remember, was it Jessica Simpson's sister who was doing a halftime music thing at a football game? And her mic dropped or something. She kept singing. Then everybody... Yeah, I think it was Jessica Simpson's sister. It's one of the sisters, or maybe the other girl singer. I don't know. But she was caught lip singing live, and she got booed for the right reason. But now, recently, about a year ago, a singer, you're talking like there's a singer, a girl who dropped the mic, and she was looking for it, and she kept singing. And when she found it, she made a little joke, and everybody still applauded her. I'm sitting there like, I would have been disgusted that I spent, because these pop shows, these freaking tickets, they go from anywhere. I'm talking about for good seats,
Big
500 above.
Billy Joel, who's been around forever. Before he stopped the whole front row thing, but if you wanted front row tickets, you were talking $2,500, right? So can you imagine going to a concert, spending $2,500 for front row, and the guy's, got a record playing and he's just singing over it or whatever? That's insane. And you got to say to yourself too, a lot of these female artists, they do a big production on stage, singing, dancing, running all around. And how could they sing and keep their breath at that pace natural after running around and doing all of that? You would be dead out of breath after doing a performance like that.
I do want to make her say, hey, Terry Brown, I was just using Bobby Mackey as an example. If you went there, finding out the hoax, I think we all believe that there is something there.
Oh, without a doubt.
So I was just using Bobby Mackey as an example, people. And I want to show you guys this picture. And I'm not here to say this guy is real or not in the paranormal section, but here's a guy named where is it? His name is Dave Schrader.
Oh, yeah.
And when you talk to this guy, he's a very nice guy. He goes on a lot of shows. So, and when I was noticing that every show he goes to, these people are diehard believers that this guy's the real deal. He's really into the paranormal. And I just want to say, all because somebody goes on somebody's show does not automatically make them real. And when you have guests on, I think Anthony was talking about this, or maybe, I don't know, we're talking about this behind the scenes, that if you invite someone on the show, you should really, truly be asking them the hard questions to see if these people are real or not. Because when I was watching some of these interviews with him, I can't show it because they're copyrighted. They all ask the softball questions, when do you get started? When, and it's like, I don't know, and this guy started late in his career, the paranormal. He says he's always into it. He's a radio guy. But does that automatically mean you're real? Absolutely not.
What about the husband and wife team that Zach used to have on the show all the time? The lady with the red hair.
Yes.
The husband they murdered each other, those two.
Yes.
It was a husband-wife double murder or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, God.
They offed each other or whatever.
Wow, what was there? We did that we did it like 2 weeks ago. I'm trying to find my folder.
But it is very upsetting, you know, when you get all hyped up to watch a show. Like take Oak Island, for example. I'm sure we all watched Oak Island and all binge watched that the first couple seasons it was on with the expectations that something was going to be found amazing under the ground, right? These guys are spending millions of bucks to dig up, you know, underground. And then you would watch a whole season and you would find a button, you would find a coin, you know, things that if I walked along the beach with a metal detector, I would probably find too. You know what I mean? I just don't get it. Do you think shows are going that far where they're going to spend millions of dollars just because, you know, the idea is going to sell? They think that idea of a search for something is going to sell big?
You know what's funny, Anthony? Just the other day, I'm not lying, I was on the couch. I saw a commercial of the Oak show.
Still going.
And still going. I asked my wife, you know, they never find anything major. Who funds this? Who funds this digging? And who gives these people permits? I mean, are they making enough money off Discovery Channel to do this? Because if I'm investing, you're right. If I'm investing my money,
you want to see return.
I don't see something in the first freaking year. Come on,
out, right?
But,
yeah.
But that's the thing with these channels. It's like when you brought up Ghost Adventures before, and you said you remember when they started, how I actually liked it in the very beginning. That was the best like that for me. When they started adding all the other production stuff to it is because the obvious thing. Ratings climb. More ratings mean more money, mean better productions. And that's what they do. And these places, like with gigs and all that stuff, they're not paying for that stuff. The company does, and they put sponsors. They may use that truck that they put in the scene that's digging, the big cat thing. Probably they offer them, hey, we'll use a cat, and they'll get a bunch of money as advertisement, as placement. You know what I mean? There's a lot of placement in these videos, in these shows, you know? And, you know, and it's not obvious stuff. Like it's not obvious advertising. It's just stuff that's right in your face that they pay for. You know what I mean? So it's just it's a business, man. It's a business.
You would think by now they would have like spent all that money and found something.
Would say more than half of the people that are in these shows go home and they don't even look at nothing about cryptids, anything they could give a crap about it. A lot of them put a hat on just for the show and then go home and they don't care like that.
I think I found what Anthony's talking about here.
Yep, that's them.
Right there. Here, let me play this.
Oh yeah, it's murder suicide.
That's what it was, murder suicide, right?
You have to admit.
Can you hear it?
I can hear it. I can't see it.
Yet there's more to this series than just investigation.
Oh, you can't see it?
There you go.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, finish your sentence and I'll find that video.
That was them. What was their name? Did you happen to read their name?
It doesn't say their name.
But they did a lot of investigations with Zach.
The whole truth of post. Trying to find the actual video that I have.
But you made a very valid point. Right in the thumbnail itself, they should put disclaimers on there. You know, CGI is going to be used. You know, reenactments are going to be used, or false news, or whatever the case may be. This is dramatized. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because if all ages are going to watch it, we hope at our age we have enough common sense to know that they're using this to finish off their video. But young kids see it, thinking real or not, they should know. I mean, they put disclaimers on everything, like, don't try this at home. This might be dangerous. I mean, they should put that some of this stuff is overreacting and all that. Because a lot of the stuff is coming out fake. Listen, Discovery Channel owns the Sister Wives, right? My wife watches it, so I kind of know about this show, right? And in the beginning, the show always presented the man who loves his wives, and, you know, they're perfect. And then you're learning that he married them because he had to. He married the middle wife because she had her parents were high in the church. It was all set up. and you're learning this all out. So, and you know they knew this in the beginning. When they come up up front saying we're all one unit and one's divorced, one's separated. So you see there's cracks, but there's a lot of cover-ups in it. And I think now with the age of time we're living in, it's easier to find these cracks. And I just think it's easier for a channel to start putting disclaimers saying, hey, some of this stuff is overreacting or is overreaching. Some of the stuff, or maybe put like, it's up to you if you want to believe it's real or not, or something, just to let a kid know that, oh, it might not be real. I have to think about that.
Even you get down into the UFO stuff, Eric, right? Like Dr. Greer did his last documentary saying that a man that's been deaf his entire life was cured by an extraterrestrial ET entity. The guy felt like he was being called out of his room in the middle of the night. He walked outside into the field. He saw a light, was staring at it. He went back in. He went to bed. He woke up in the morning. He's eating breakfast, and he's hearing people talk. Meanwhile, the guy was born deaf, and now all of a sudden he can miraculously hear. Okay, if that was true, show me his medical records from birth that says he was born deaf, and show me the medical records that said on that day he was cured. Because I know if if my hearing came back and I was deaf my whole life, I would have left that day and went to the doctor and said, "What the hell's going on? All of a sudden I can hear." What news?
You know what, Anthony? That's the worst kind to me. That's the worst kind of lying. Truly, when you listen, I was born not knowing that I couldn't hear at 100%. I was only hearing at a 20%. I was 80% deaf until they did an operation on my ears. Right? What if they couldn't fix that 80%? And like you're saying, I'm watching this guy talk about an alien thing that God is his hearing. That puts hope for me for something that doesn't exist. That's horrible. I mean, that's just
your story's legit. And then it also makes you say to yourself, I know a deaf guy miraculously got healed by an extraterrestrial while they were filming your movie about extraterrestrials that heal. Give me a break. That's how I look at that.
Now, people in the chat, make this simple. Do you believe you can find the truth on the Discovery Network? Put 1 for yes, put 2 for no, put 3 maybe.
But what do you mean Discovery Network? Like, are we talking everything they put on, like Shark Week and all that stuff?
All of it. Overall network, the network of Discovery. Do you feel? Yeah. The shark stuff. Yeah, you can take that. Yeah, take that off. I'm talking about
UFOs.
I'm talking about UFOs. UFOs. You're right. Thanks, Anthony. UFOs, Bigfoot, and paranormal. Because their animal stuff is good, entertaining, good stuff. You learn a lot. I'm talking about the 3 that most of the world thinks a joke.
So 1 for you believe them, 2 you don't. It was
1 is yes, you believe in it. 2, you don't believe in it. 3, maybe. So you can see here, I don't believe in it. Maybe. And maybe's fair. Maybe's fair. 3, maybe. Wally's no. 3, maybe.
Gotta say maybe because some of it's got to be real, right?
Well, a lot of stuff is based on true stories and true folklore stories and all that. But how far would you go to make it true just for ratings or clicks or views? That's the question.
Yeah, man.
That's the magic question.
Like
Nobody's saying
Discovery Plus.
What's that?
They have Discovery Plus, and that's because like they have a lot of stuff beyond the cryptids and UFO and paranormal stuff and everything. I like they have all the nature stuff.
Sister Wives.
Watching the nature with the wildlife, the science stuff. I love all that. They have a lot because Discovery, they're a big entity, man. They have a lot under their umbrella. But with all that stuff, that's their that's like their sci-fi stuff. That's right. How I think they look at it. They may not label it like that, and
Was it Discovery Channel?
Good point. Maybe they should label that for that kind of material.
But then again, that puts a damper on our community when they do things like that. That makes us look bad because then they're like, you think it's bad on national network television? You're gonna go to YouTube and watch that? That's the Wild West over there. They're doing what you think it's bad over here. Over there's 100 times worse. You can't believe nothing you see on
Oh.
YouTube. So that's what bothers me about that shit happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then the question
when you have that, like I say, when they go back to the Bigfoot thing and they just like drag stuff on, and then you just know it's just a unreality reality show like that. And when you have the real researchers that are out there that actually are catching things on camera and all that, you got people comparing it to the stuff on TV that's a joke. You know what I mean? And then everybody gets lumped into that same box.
That's a good point you brought up, Ron, because that's another thing I can't stand, right? So let's say me and Ron went out with Long Island Bigfoot and we filmed a Sasquatch with Mike, right? And all of a sudden we get a deal for a show and we're doing the show and we're talking about the Sasquatch and what his head looked like. It was cone-shaped. Then all of a sudden a network like that, they'll cut to the skull from Nepal that they have of the Yeti skull. And we all know that's not a Yeti skull because it's stitched in the back. Somebody put that together, right? So now we're doing our story, and because we signed with the network, that just gives them the right to cut and use any piece of footage they want to reamp and dramatize the footage. Even if we didn't agree to it, the networks automatically do it because they need the ratings. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big hot mess.
You know what I should have done? I should have showed it.
Exactly,
I
man.
forgot I did this a long time ago. Purgatory of New York. You guys know them. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
I took one of her videos and she loved it. I wish she was here. She was fun. She was telling a story of a true story, and I showed it like, this is great story, right? Then I took the same video. I put flames behind her, and I put in like Ghost Adventures music in it, and it just changes the whole thing. Like, whoa, wow, like, damn, I want to hear this story. It's the same story
production, yeah,
without the production. And the thing is about YouTube, that we don't have time or money to put that kind of production, But a lot of people gotta have that music in it. They gotta have it. They're addicted to. I hate to say it. They're addicted to the stuff that doesn't make the story more true. It just makes it visually
the dramatization part of it.
Dramatization, and that's a lie. That's my point.
Look what they did with that freaking show. Not Fire in the Sky, A Tear in the Sky.
Oh my God.
That crap, right? Waste of money in my opinion.
Horrible. Watching
that, nowhere they even screwed up more because they decided they were going to add the music to it. Kind of like the Discovery Support.
And I don't want to know nothing, Ron. That Tear in the Sky that they show at the end was a cloud passing.
Yeah, that's all it was. It was crap.
Opening that's all it was. It was a hole in a cloud.
See the follow-up they did on that, right? Remember they said, "Oh, we're going to do this." You notice how there's nothing, no scientific papers, nothing.
The name of that documentary should have been A Hole in a Cloud. That's what it should have been.
Hole in your pocket. Yeah.
And they had a lot of equipment, even though most of it was old. They had a lot of equipment, and it gets even worse because the guy that they hired to do all that stuff with was arrested for kiddie porn. And
really
got a record for that. And then you got a lot of these companies that in UFO Ghost Encrypted world that the people got arrested for kiddie porn and stuff, and they work with them. That's another disgusting aspect of the field too. The little dirty secrets that nobody knows about.
And if people don't realize how powerful Discovery Network is, they own HBO. They own Time Warner, people. You would have thought the Time Warner would have bought out a company like Discovery. No, Discovery bought out Time Warner. I mean, that's how huge in reach. So they got more money now. They got more production. So what are we going to get now? So, but Ron, if you're in charge, say you're CEO of Discovery, and somebody asks you, Ron, not the science stuff, not the animals, UFOs, Bigfoot, and cryptids. Should we start putting on a disclaimer? Think of the way they think. Would you? What would you say? What would you do?
No.
No way.
If I was a business person, no. Why would I? I mean, maybe if if there was pressure or people on the board and was saying that maybe could try that on a show and then see what happens if there is any kind of decline or whatever, then, but the thing is, if the ratings are great, the money's coming in, why?
Why stop, right?
This is how they will look at it. What, to satisfy the few that are complaining about it?
But what if I tell you, Ron, you're CEO? I'm like, bro, Ron, but CEO. They're putting disclaimers on medicine, on the bad parts of it. They have to put it on that, on alcohol, on anything. You know, your stuff is not technically is 100% true, not truthful, but,
Yeah, but they're
not
mandated
proven
to
that it's
do that.
100% real.
But they're
Let me tell you.
mandated to do that. When they have to put those disclaimers like that about medical stuff and everything.
Oh, yeah.
That's for liabilities and all that. And that's what you'll see. Let's say you got a moron that's out there saying to go take a bath in your own urine and stuff like that.
Which we do
Let's
have
see
that.
what happens when somebody does and something happens and they get some kind of infection or something and they get sued. That's when you'll start seeing disclaimers.
Yep.
That's what happens.
You're absolutely right.
But
I want to. Yes.
By the way, it's Dina P's birthday, everybody. So happy birthday.
Is it really?
Dina P. Yep.
happy birthday, Dina. Yay!
I'm gonna. But you know, things are changing. I'm gonna tell you guys. I don't know if you guys know this story or not. Sometimes, you know, maybe somebody could falsify a lawsuit against Discovery, saying, "Hey, I rent out that place. There was no ghost, no nothing." Because and you think you can't do lawsuits like that. I'm going to show you guys. I don't know if you guys know this. There's a movie called Yesterday about the Beatles once existed and they don't exist.
Great movie.
Okay, now they made a trailer that had an actress in it, in the whole trailer, and people believed that this actress was in the movie. When these two people watched the movie, this actress was not in the movie. They were sued for falsifying a fake trailer. And I'm gonna show this. This is what I'm talking about. Now, hold on a second, Crawl. Let me show a picture here. Where is it? Where's her lawsuit? Okay. Here's a picture of an actress that's supposed to be in the movie. This woman. I forgot her name.
Oh, I know who she is. Yeah, okay.
She was in the trailer a lot. So these people went and saw the movie because they were huge fans of her. But every scene that she was in was cut. Now, there's a lawsuit right here. California U.S. District Judge Stephen Wilson ruled that their legal action can go ahead. Universal Studio behind the film sought to throw out the lawsuit, arguing the movie trailers are entitled to broad protection under the First Amendment, which protects free speech, rights, and press. But what the thing is, now the argument, some people say, well, yeah, but they probably cut it out after the trailer's out. No, when they cut her parts out, they never changed the trailer. They kept it in, like this actress is in it. And these people won where they get to do a action lawsuit. And I'm telling you, that's going to open up a lot of doors now. Because if I had the money, what if I spent all that money, like I said, went to the Conjuring house or something, and it's not haunted at all, and I watched it on Discovery Channel on their false advertisement? It could happen, because it happened with the movie Yesterday, and they won because they bought tickets based on that actress being in it, and when they saw it, she was not in it.
But have you read, like when we talk about all these disclaimers and everything? Now, you have to remember, I haven't read, but there are disclaimers. Now, have you read them? See, because what they do is they flash small things real quick at the end of shows.
Sure.
On it, how they tell that they're not liable for this and that, and there's a lot of stuff broken down, but we have to find it. I'll try right now. I know there's not much time left, but I'm going to see what I can find.
Right.
Ron, look at their movie. I can't remember the movie where they're like, you signed the contract. Doesn't say there, and then they took the card and they magnified glass, and there it was, the little words, and you had to use a magnifying glass. It was actually there, but you couldn't see it with the eye. I forgot what movie that was. I can't remember.
I'm telling you right now, though, if we started inviting you know, whoever, Dr. Greer to the show and came on and just treated him softball questions, and Linda Moulton House softball questions, and this one and that one. And we started doing that. You'd watch how fast your ratings picked up on YouTube by having those people and throwing them the softball questions and not asking them the hard stuff that we would ask.
Bingo.
We would be a big
Bingo.
Our channels would be gigantic. But because we don't put our horse blinders on and we open our mouth, we're at where we're at. Because we're
Bingo.
on
That's and it exactly
we're more
that's
about the fight for truth.
my point. We're not really digging for the truth. We're just, like you said,
No, we are digging for the truth. We're not allowing the BS, right? But if we allowed the BS, we would be, forget it. We would have UFO videos that are CGI that look real, and we would be the next, third phase of fake type of show.
And that's why I wasn't saying that David Snyder is fake or false, but all because you have him on your channel does not make him 100% real. Okay. And you still got to do your own research. When I learned that he really only kind of technically did paranormal research in the last 10 years, he was mostly like a radio guy and stuff, kind of raised a few little flags like, oh, there's a popularity growing in this community. It might be time for me to jump in to that hot hand, and not saying pretend, but I mean, we all said it. A house could be haunted, but how haunted is it? Is it really? And I don't have to say it's more haunted by faking something. I can exaggerate it.
Here's an example. Can you bring this up for a minute? There's no sound. I'm not going to be playing nothing or whatever.
No.
If you remember Man vs. Wild, right, with Bear Grylls?
Oh yeah, Bear Grylls.
Right.
Yeah.
So what happened? Remember that he's this great survivor guy and all that, and then when they found out that he was getting support when he would be in trouble, they would provide medical assistance and all this stuff, but they still acted like he was surviving on his own. They had a you'll see here. They had to Man vs. Wild. They had to acknowledge that some scenes in the unscripted series are staged, and that he and the crew receive support when they are in potentially life-threatening situations. But they were forced to add disclaimers, like in the middle of the show, at other ends. So I think what they started doing is there's small ones. I'm looking for a main general one that they add, because I know they have something, but something like that should be done, where during the show, like something comes up on screen and just says like whatever, like not saying nothing that, oh, this is fiction, because they can't say that. They don't know, but say it's like not on us. It's up to you to believe. Some kind of crap they could say, but this is just one example of disclaimers.
I agree. I'm scratching my head because Danny says, yeah, Eric, you did an interview, an alien fairy dragon from the planet Rainbow once. I did?
No, you didn't. Did you?
I don't know. Am I having a Mandela effect?
Eric.
What are we talking
about? Pull that up down there for a second, Eric.
Which one? Oh, his?
The one I just put down there. Okay, so UFOs in Michigan and where they're from. So this is my friend Cheryl and Linda Costa. She's a UFO statistician, which means she travels the world and she gets all the data from all the UFOs sightings and makes a graph and tells you where the highest sightings were, what time of the year were the highest sightings, where they were, how believable they were, this, that, and the third. Now, she's somebody I keep, well, she's my friend, but she's somebody I keep close so I can, have a statistician on the team that can give me all that information. And that's a real good person to have that does, the work like that. By the way, Andy Gambino and I are in this book. It's on Amazon. Cheryl.
I do remember Danny, the guy who said was a dragon. You're right.
Is he kidding or he's serious?
He's serious. I remember I've been interviewed. People come up, tell me their stories, and there was a guy who said he was a dragon. I'm like, okay, who am I to say he's lying?
Well, there's, what do you call it? What do they call them? Dragon. Oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not an entity. Angel Wings knows what I'm talking about. What do you call the dragon? Spirit is the word I'm looking for. Angel Wings. Forget what it's called.
Danny, that nut, right? Yeah. Hey, listen, if somebody claims to be something, okay, tell me about it. I'm not gonna say I have to believe you, but
Red dragon, no fire.
bad dragon. Yeah, and guys, I'm not anybody in chat. I'm not saying don't watch television. Listen, when I watch Ghostface for my daughter, she knows it's entertainment. She could call out bullshit when she sees it too. She's smart enough, but there are some people that I hate to say it, that I don't want to say weaker minded, but a lot of people believe what they see. It's just no different than a person like everything you hear on the news channel, right? Listen, if you listen to Fox News, you're probably more Republican. You're going to think that way. You watch CNN News, you're probably more Democrat. You're going to think that way because most of their materials are towards that way. And a lot of people usually want it. Actually, I hate to say this. A lot of people want to be told what to believe in, what to think. I hate to say it, but there are so many followers.
Well, that's it. Everybody should
That
have
is
a
that.
mind.
It is that, but it's
their
true.
own leader.
It is true. But you guys see it every day. People cannot. There's a lot of people that can't think for
follow
themselves.
blindly, Eric. Look how many people. Again, I'll bring up the UFO community. Look how many channels full of BS, and
Yes.
you can bring it up, and you can prove the evidence and lay it out definitively for them, but they don't want to believe it, and they will just follow those that they like blindly. They do not want to hear it.
I really
No matter
do.
what you do.
I'm sorry how I won the lottery. I'm sorry I ruined it for you. You know, I didn't mean to. Listen,
Oh, yeah,
I had a guy a long time
yeah.
ago on my channel that used to do certain claims. And then, you know, I started looking at this guy's background. I'm like, oh my God, this guy has several DUIs, several this. He was no more than this. I'm not going to say no names. I'm not going to bash any channel. But
I hear an echo.
Oh, I do too.
An echo?
Yeah, anybody got a YouTube channel open of this show?
Keep talking, Ron. I got myself on pause to see if I hear an echo.
It's gone now.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That happens.
Maybe your mic got too close, Eric. Sometimes
Yeah.
your mic gets too close and might do that.
We're getting close to the end anyway, so let's go through some channels here to see what's coming up. Here, let me share a screen here. We'll go with Cosmic Neighbors to see what's going on. So here we are on Cosmic Neighbors channel.
I didn't, like always, I didn't put up the YouTube the thumbnail yet. But tomorrow it'll be the weekend warm-up at 7 p.m. I didn't put the thumbnail up.
I'll put the link to your whole channel. There you go.
That works. That works for me.
And Ron, listen, I don't put my links up until like sometimes at midnight because we're just so busy with life. It's hard to get it on. So do you have a certain storyline for your show tomorrow, or is just get together, let's just talk? And
the weekend warm-up is just a winging it, have fun show with us, and at times may bring people up on a panel, just come up and hang out, and we talk about whatever topic it is or whatever we want to talk about, and we take it from there. That's what the Friday show is really about. It's not like a set. It's just like, who knows? We could talk about ingrown toenails for all I care. I don't know.
Now, I do got to say one thing about Anthony. He's way more up on getting his links out, streams already created.
No, I'm not.
He's way better than I am.
Bullshit.
And,
I just started
Ron
doing that.
He's better than him too, that getting his future shows already on there. And
Good. Eric, I just started doing that because Ron taught me how to use Canva. And now I know how to make thumbnails. Before that, nah.
And this one is for Sunday, correct?
Sunday. This show is going to be interesting. So it's going to be, us three. Jim Goodall would like to join us, so he's invited, and Buck is going to hop on too. I think all of us can pull this one off. Ancient aliens or ancient Egyptians. So we're going to talk about all the alien myths about how the pyramids got made. And we'll have a chat and discuss if there's any truth. Do we believe there's any truth to that? And then we'll also look at the legends of how the pyramids were made, what they were allegedly used for, and all of that stuff.
Eric, you put the StreamYard link in the chat, just so you know.
Oh!
Yeah, thank you for putting my channel. I truly appreciate it, dear buddy. I'll put my link in the chat. I'll do that.
Oh
I'm
man!
sorry.
Everybody, hop on. Eric Stoned.
Oh man, I went to the tab to get it up, but then I didn't go to the back to the tab and did the copy and paste from there. But guys, even if I don't put their links in the chat, they're in the description.
Yeah, we're in the about section.
So they're in the description. But Anthony, I love the pyramid topics. I mean, I love pyramids so much that it's one of my cartoon series. I think it was episode 4 when I used the King Tut and the pyramids. I used the line about it being a power station.
That's
there's so many.
That's what Ron
theories.
was talking about Sunday with Buck and I, and it got very interesting. And I figured we go a little bit deeper in it because the audience seemed to be very engaged with it. So we'll just take it another step further.
Oh hell yeah! And beyond that, everybody in the chat, I'm glad you guys came here. Like I said, all we talk about today is our opinions, theories. We don't know what's true and what's not. We can't prove that one show's more fake than the other and all that. We're just giving our opinions. And at the end of the day, it's all up to you what you want to believe in.
Exactly.
Don't ever let any one of us influence you to think a certain way. You should have your own thoughts, your own thinking. And hopefully you hear 3 different opinions and you can make up your own decision on what you want to believe in.
Right.
And all that. And beyond that, guys.
And another thing real quick, that's why the 3 of us work together, because you got Ron with a scientist mind, that knows everything, space, in and out when it comes to comets and planets and the solar system. So we got him to handle all that. UFOs, I handle that. And Eric takes the paranormal encrypted portion of the stuff. You put the 3 together, you got, 3 open minds having a theoretical conversation. And it just goes way better, I think, with 3 people, instead of 1 or...
I'm just reading somebody's writing. I want to see Eric climb that. You want to see me climb the pyramid?
Yeah. I'd be out of breath after hobbling up the first rock.
I would try.
They're big, man. Those things they're huge.
This is so nice. I trust you guys more than any TV series.
Thanks, Bit of Venom. Very kind to you.
That's awesome. And like we said, it's just of our opinion.
You see how I win the lottery wrote?
I've always said this, guys. Unless you're there personally seeing something for yourself with your own eyes, nothing is at 100%. Nothing. Unless you've seen it with your own eyes.
Very true.
What's this? I never have Eric come here because I laugh really hard when you're on.
Bring up the one before that.
Cowboys, scientists, and police. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome.
True.
Yeah, that's awesome. But beyond that, everybody have a great day, and we'll see everybody next time.
Later, everyone.